Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sophia, and after 15 years in the friendly skies as a flight attendant, I've seen it all, the good, the bad, and the seriously outdated when it comes to travel gear. Now, you clicked on this video because the title is 13 Outdated Items I Do Not Fly With and What to Pack Instead. Maybe you're thinking, outdated? How can a toothbrush be outdated? What's Sophia going to tell me? That I need a smart home connected suitcase that washes my clothes? Or perhaps, is this just another list of obvious stuff, like not packing a whole jar of peanut butter in your carry-on? We know that, Sophia. Well, hold on to your boarding passes, because this isn't about TSA rules or what you can't bring. This is about efficiency, comfort, and the hard-won wisdom of a career traveler. We're talking about the items that used to be travel essentials, but now just take up space, add weight, or scream rookie traveler to anyone in the know. I've learned, often the hard way, that traveling smarter means evolving your packing list. We're going deep into the items I, a professional who practically lives in a suitcase, have completely ditched, and the modern, often multi-use alternatives that make travel infinitely better. These tips aren't just for long-haul flights or exotic trips. They're for weekend getaways, business travel, and everything in between. So if you're ready to declutter your packing, save some space, and travel like a seasoned pro, stick around. But first, if you want more insider travel tips, packing hacks, and true stories from 35,000 feet, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, I'm building a community here, and your subscriptions help us decide what juicy topics to cover next. Let me know in the comments below. What's one thing you always pack that you suspect I might call outdated? Give me your best shot. I'm going to be checking those comments and might even dedicate a future video to your questions. Okay, let's get this packing party started. 1. The bulky hardcover book. I used to be such a purist. Nothing beat the feel of a hardcover book on a long flight, the pages dog-eared with adventure. My luggage used to be practically a mobile library. But let's be real. That 800-page thriller is not just heavy, it's a dedicated space eater. What I pack instead, a Kindle or an e-reader. I know it's not the same, but hear me out. One tiny, lightweight device holds hundreds of books. No more agonizing over which novel to sacrifice to make room for that extra pair of shoes. Plus, they're backlit, which is crucial when you're crammed next to a sleeping passenger and don't want to use the harsh overhead light. An anecdote. Once, years ago, on a flight to Tokyo, I was lugging 3 massive tomes. My crew bag ended up overweight, and I had to physically take one book out and put it in my carry-on backpack. It was a whole embarrassing shuffle just because I was so attached to the paper version. Never again. 2. The full-sized hairdryer. Unless you are a professional stylist needing a specific type of super-powered blow dryer, do yourself a favor. Leave your full-sized hairdryer at home. They are clunky, they're heavy, and they take up prime real estate. What I pack instead, the hotel or Airbnb hairdryer. Honestly, the vast majority of decent accommodations provide one. If you're truly staying somewhere bare bones and absolutely need one, get a travel-specific mini dryer that folds up small. My coworker, bless her heart, once packed a dryer so big it barely fit in her checked bag. When she got to her destination, the hotel one was perfectly fine. That was a lot of unnecessary baggage handling. 3. All those specialty travel-sized toiletries, you know the drill. You buy the tiny travel-size shampoo, conditioner, body wash, moisturizer, a little army of plastic bottles. It feels convenient, but it's wasteful, expensive in the long run, and you often run out of one before the others. What I pack instead, refillable silicone travel bottles and solid toiletry bars. Those little silicone bottles are game changers. I fill them with my favorite high-quality products from home. Crucially, I've switched almost entirely to shampoo and conditioner bars. They last forever, they don't count toward your liquids quota, and they don't leak. No more arriving at your destination to a bag full of mint-scented goo. A pro tip, invest in a high-quality soap bar container for your solid bars. It'll keep everything neat and dry, unlike those flimsy plastic clamshells. 4. The wallet full of local cash pre-COVID. It was essential to always have a decent wad of the local currency upon arrival. Not anymore. Carrying large amounts of cash is a risk, and hunting down the best exchange rate at the airport is a pain. What I pack instead, a travel credit card with no foreign transaction fees and a small amount of emergency local currency. Almost everywhere now accepts credit cards, and the exchange rate you get through your bank or card network is almost always better than a currency exchange desk. I only carry maybe $50 equivalent in the local currency for small street vendors or an emergency taxi. I mostly use my card and withdraw money from a trusted ATM inside a bank if I absolutely need more cash. 5. Separate camera and camera bag for most people. Unless you are a professional photographer or a serious hobbyist who needs a massive zoom lens, that bulky camera bag is dead weight. What I pack instead? My smartphone. The camera technology in modern smartphones is unbelievable. For 99% of travel photos and videos, the phone is lighter, immediately shareable, and one less thing to worry about losing or charging. I invest in a small mini tripod or gimbal that fits in my pocket for stabilization, which is much more practical than a whole camera kit. 6. Multiple pairs of high heels or dress shoes. This is a personal one, but ladies, unless you have a black tie event every night, ditch the multiple pairs of shoes you might wear. Shoes are the #1 killer of efficient packing. They are heavy, rigid, and take up the most space. What I pack instead? One pair of versatile, comfortable, flat, stylish sneakers, and one pair of low-profile, multi-purpose ankle boots or block heels. The key is versatility. The single pair of dressier shoes I pack has to work with my business clothes and a nice dinner outfit. Everything else should be comfortable for walking. As a flight attendant, I live by the rule of comfortable chic. If I can't walk a mile in it, it doesn't get packed. 7. The old school, over-the-neck travel pillow. You know the one. The big U-shaped memory foam or microbead monster. It's better than nothing, but it's huge, hard to compress, and frankly doesn't provide that great of support. What I pack instead? An inflatable neck pillow or a scarf-wort shawl. The inflatable pillow is a game changer. It compresses down to the size of a wallet, and you can adjust the firmness. Even better? I often just use a large, cozy pashmina or infinity scarf. It doubles as a blanket, a stylish accessory, and I can wrap it strategically around my neck for surprisingly good support against the window. Multi-use is always the winner. 8. A big, clunky first aid kit. I see people packing entire pharmaceutical aisles sometimes. A massive first aid kit filled with things you might need is unnecessary. You can buy almost anything basic overseas, and most hotels' airlines have basic supplies. What I pack instead? A very small curated emergency pouch. Mine contains 3 things: pain relief, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, antacids, and a few small adhesive bandages. That's it. Everything else can be found. Keep it small, keep it simple, and keep it easily accessible in your personal item bag. I once watched a passenger spill an entire container of travel-sized cough syrup, ruining half their carefully packed medical supplies. The simplicity of a small pouch protects your essentials. 9. Wired headphones as your primary set. While a backup wired set is sometimes wise for older in-flight entertainment systems, relying on them as your main audio is a throwback. The cables get tangled and they restrict your movement. What I pack instead? Noise-canceling wireless earbuds or over-ear headphones. This is a non-negotiable for professional travel. Noise cancellation is the key to sanity on a long flight. It blocks out the engine hum, the crying baby, and the chatter. Plus, the wireless aspect means I can get up to stretch or grab something from the overhead bin without yanking the wire out of my device or, worse, my ear. A flight attendant secret: good noise cancellation makes even the busiest cabin feel calmer. It's an investment in your peace of mind. 10. Paper maps and printouts. Remember the days of unfolding a massive city map on a bus or lugging around a binder of hotel confirmations and itineraries? That is so over. What I pack instead? Everything digital and saved offline. Your phone is your map, your itinerary, and your travel guide. I use Google Maps feature to download maps of the city I'm visiting, so they work even without Wi-Fi or data. All my reservations are in one email folder or a dedicated travel app. Keep a copy of your passport photo and visa on your phone, and a cloud service just in case. Save the trees and save your sanity. 11. Full-sized containers of sunscreen and bug spray. These are necessary items, but they are often bulky, heavy, and are prime suspects for liquid leaks. What I pack instead: sunscreen sticks, powders, and travel-sized insect repellent wipes. The sunscreen stick is an absolute marvel. No mess, no fuss, and they don't count towards your liquid limit if they're solid. Similarly, the little packets of bug repellent wipes are far lighter and less messy than a giant aerosol can. This is an easy way to shed weight and liquid-related anxiety. 12. Anything that needs a single-use, dedicated charger. The more unique charging cables and bulky power bricks you pack, the more cluttered your bag becomes, and the higher the risk of forgetting an essential cable. What I pack instead: universal USB-C, USB-A charging hub, and multi-tip cables. Modern devices are, finally, consolidating around USB-C. I travel with one high-powered charging brick that has multiple ports, USB-C and USB-A, and a few multi-tip cables that can charge 3 different types of devices. This replaces 3 or 4 separate wall plugs and cables. It's one of the biggest space savers in my crew bag. Don't forget, if you want more tips on how to manage all your cables, make sure to let me know in the comments. We could do a whole video on cable management alone. 13. The traveler's iron. I have seen so many people lugging around travel irons. Unless you're heading straight to a state dinner from the airport, it's just not worth the space or the weight. What I pack instead: a travel-size steamer or wrinkle release spray. Steaming is faster, gentler on clothes, and a small steamer is surprisingly compact. However, my true replacement is a little bottle of wrinkle release spray. Hang the item up, spray it, smooth it with your hand, and most wrinkles just melt away. It is unbelievably effective for business wear and lighter fabrics. If the hotel provides an iron, great, but I'm not bringing one. So there you have it, 13 things that, based on my 15 years of watching and learning, are simply not worth the space in your luggage anymore, and the modern, efficient alternatives that keep my packing light, smart, and professional. Travel is supposed to be an adventure, not a heavy lifting exercise. By ditching the outdated items and embracing these streamlined alternatives, you're not just saving space, you're saving yourself stress, time, and that inevitable moment of frantically reorganizing your bag at the check-in counter. I hope you found this list helpful. Let me know which one you're going to ditch first in the comments below. And seriously, if you love these tips, please smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next video. We're building the best travel community here, and I want you to be a part of it. Safe travels, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.